Hello again. This is Art Johnson of New World Communications, and we're talking about building the Climate Action Consortium, starting right here, right now in Washington State. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my slide share and talk about that and what's in it for you and what we have planned. We've got a big idea that we want to share with you. So here we go. So here's the state of Washington here, and it's our region. I'm right here in Linwood, Washington, right north of Seattle. And for starters, we want to build the Washington State chapter of the Climate Action Consortium. And so we've got 39 counties, we have 281 cities, and we have 7.39 million people to engage, to somehow reach. And the way we need to do this, our goal is to build at least 332 chapter leaders. These would be people all over the state, from those regions who can have some influence and get some conversations going and some action that would make a difference. And our big idea, here's our big idea. I'll cut right to the chase. What we're thinking about is pulling together a world-class, all-inclusive Taking Climate Action conference, trade show, and job fair that greatly accelerates timely, gainful climate action careers across all of Washington State. And so one of the things that was, once we just kind of said, we got to do this across the state, Spirit in the universe just led us right to an amazing organization called Career Connect Washington. And it's a climate action career sector's opportunity. When I visited the website, I didn't see too much information about taking climate action. There was pretty traditional stuff. But the real advantage here is that they have relations across the state with key sector people that could be, and they might even have some things going, and they might need some more encouragement or more promotion, more videos about the important work that they're doing or visualizing, and also share information across the planet with them. So what our goal is, and during this conference, it's all inclusive. And I mean this all inclusive, I mean everybody is included. This is because climate change is all inclusive. Nobody's left out. We're all suffering from the heat and the catastrophic cascading problems, challenges of climate change. And so we're in the process of outreaching to the advanced manufacturing and aerospace career people. These are the sector leaders of this organization and the program builders with resources to help with agriculture and natural resources, with clean technology and energy, maritime sector, the life science sector, information technology and cybersecurity sector, healthcare sector, finance sector, education sector, and construction sector. So this is what we have on our mind here to do this. And one of the things is, we've been walking through the virtual door. Our first video just talked about our epiphany once we start realizing that there's an opportunity that people are not really fully exploiting or exploring, which is, we call it virtual architecture, virtual transportation to virtual architecture that you can meet inside of. You can get there instantly, and it's near zero carbon footprint. So with that in mind, in dealing with the health and wellness of people in our planet and then of business, I've been developing a New World Virtual Learning Institute and Conference Center, which I think can be a practical solution. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're doing here. This is on our website, and we have a tour that you can do. These are our basic resources here, and that you can kind of scroll down to get some idea of what's there. But then we can get really into kind of granular and really talk about the main things. Now, instead of everybody trying to drive or fly to the Washington State Convention Center, which could be pricey and costly to the environment and a lot of carbon, what about the idea of meeting on a website and then meeting over Zoom? And I mean Zoom, not Google Meet or Teams. Teams is good for some corporations and some institutions, but majority of people across Washington State are more used to using Zoom, and that's good. So this would be meeting with over Zoom. I'm meeting with Zoom right now as I'm doing this recording even. So this could be a hybrid kind of approach, and we even have people in the physical world looking at this on screens. So this is our virtual lobby. When people get here, they might want to, find out what's going on, so they can go to a career an events calendar here and see what events would be posted up here. Here they could go to a receptionist and get a login or get information about where things are happening and all of that. And then people could hang out with each other. We have a virtual lounge. And so people can go there and meet and network with each other in the lounge. And if they're hungry, and we work out a deal with people like Starbucks or someplace that has a lot of different locations here, and they have a Starbucks card, they can, get a coffee, drink, or tea, or whatever, and maybe a snack or breakfast or a sandwich, and do that, with that. And we notice we have these rotating sponsor banners here. So this is a great way to have this funded by concerned companies and organizations. And I think everybody's concerned. They just need a vehicle for that expression. And we can do this very cost effectively here. So then after they do that, now it's time for a group of the whole to meet inside of the virtual auditorium. And again, this is you just visiting the website and then coming here, and then you could see this could be a pretty large Zoom call here with people here, and you would see the keynote speaker and what's going to happen for the rest of the day or even for the rest of the week, depending on how long this event is. Be very, very cost effective presenting here. And then people can take a break, and then after lunch and going back to the cafe and doing whatever, they can convene and attend breakout sessions in the virtual meeting center. Again, a sponsorship opportunity here. And I have over 20 meeting rooms. Here's what a meeting room looks like. 20 meeting rooms that people could look at what that topic is, and they could go to a breakout session in one of those meeting rooms here. And the way this works, going back to the meeting center, the way that this works is if you've gone to a physical World Conference, you'll usually have like 3 blocks. So you can choose from a list, kind of a menu of choices. And for like 90 minutes, go to one of those and then take a bio break, and then choose another choice, and then take a break, and then another choice. And then that would be really neat. So that'd be a lot to do even before lunch or even before the exhibition hall opens up. So that's what we want to talk about next, is a virtual exhibition hall. And so that would be a great place. Look at what we've done here. We've got over 103 booths. These are booth opportunities here. And booths would be, again, an opportunity because we're over Zoom, which is pretty flexible with showing videos and chatting with people and presenting and having people weigh in and things like that. And the exhibitor name could go right here. And visit, and you can collect leads and transact business even. enroll in courses and stuff, or consultancies or whatever. This could be a really, really neat thing here. So I'm going to go back to our big idea here, so you can get some idea of this big idea of this world-class statewide virtual conference that has to deal with taking climate action and brings all the people together, generations of people. And so what's the cost effectiveness of this in terms of looking at this? What's the cost of this virtual world architecture? It's very nominal compared to the cost of physical world architecture. And if you've ever tried to do an event, there are all kinds of costs. You got the cost of the floor, the cost of electricity, the cost of internet. You want a tablecloth, they'll charge you for that. There's so many different costs. The cost of a booth, and different sizes of booths and stuff. So we think we can do a radical way of cost reduction by doing it this way. So what's the cost of the transportation? Well, in the physical world, there's a huge cost. If you're one of those remote counties, then you have to pay more in terms of transportation, and you put out more carbon just getting back and forth to physical world architecture. With this architecture, you just log in, you get there instantly for free, and boom, you log out, you're back where you need to be. So there's a radical, ultra affordable way of doing this transportation-wise and architecturally. And what does it cost to exhibit? Again, if you are a corporation or you've ever participated, there's a tremendous cost. A lot of companies have to spend money to design booths, and then it costs money to ship that booth around the country, and then to send all the people there in hotels with per diem costs just to work the show. And there's, increasingly a lot of companies are really kind of weighing in and saying, we're not seeing the return on the investment that we need to see for putting out this kind of money and this kind of time and this initiative and this energy. So this could be a real timely solution here. And so what's the carbon footprint of it all? This is way, way less, because again, this is ultra eco-friendly, ultra affordable, and with almost zero carbon footprint. Now, there could be also a way to do this in a hybrid world. Not everybody is going to want to do this. There are some people in senior centers or at schools. And the great news is that we're going to do these events in a hybrid world way, meaning that you might have some people, on Zoom, but you could also have people, in facilities just watching the thing on their HDTV, because we're actually going to not only work with Zoom, but we will simulcast to YouTube Live that'll show up on any HDTV set or even mobile phone, and also to Facebook Live. So, we're including just about everybody, even people just about ready to get out of prison can be motivated about maybe new jobs that could be available to them. Climate action jobs that are opening up now to do major infrastructure installations, solar and wind and all kinds of, I don't want to just limit it to that. It could be nuclear even, lower cost, safer nuclear. So who pays more and who pays less in this way? Well, we like the idea that this is pretty equitable, that you don't have to have a big budget just to be able to afford to pay for this. You can go to this whole event for free, with enough sponsors that are covering our minimal costs of doing this. So who gets to be involved and who doesn't? Well, in this way, everybody gets to be involved and nobody gets left out. That's our goal. And I think this is a great way of doing it. And the other way, only the rich can afford to go to some of these big events and stuff. And so there's a kind of a thing that's it's challenging to democracy in terms of access. And really, we need to change that whole scenario with with more people involved. So the way we're going to do this is we are going to be using our whole suite of e-learning services to get there. We've been doing a whole series of explainer videos. We've actually been modeling socially responsible corporate behavior in 3D with our fictitious CEO Dave of ABC Corp, who comes to us with a whole plate full of problems that we are helping him one by one. And part of those problems, in addition to diversity and equity and inclusion, have to do with his huge carbon footprint across his enterprise. And so we're teaching, you're actually, using the fictitious CEO to model real world behavior for real world CEOs to pay attention. And we're also reaching out to people. We don't understand, it would be foolish for us to assume that we know what everybody needs. It's smarter to reach out with heart in hand and head in hand to say, hey, look, what's going on with you? I mean, there's been massive disruption because of COVID and because of this climate change issues and challenges. So we need to just find out to get on, to be on target and spot on with our virtual focus group and strategic planning services that we'll do over Zoom. And there's no company we can do it with the smallest entrepreneur, solopreneur, as well as the largest companies can do this and get behind this. So we're doing that. And this also is informing our YouTube programming. I'm doing YouTube programming right here at this very moment, recording over Zoom and going and uploading to YouTube. And I'll be streaming live down the road with people online with me. And this will inform workshops and courses that we might be able to provide, informed by what people say they need. And whole mobilization campaign services. We're using this entire suite, our eight and our new explainer video service to mobilize people across the state and across the planet to arrive at virtual conferences, trade shows, and job fairs, and to provide additional instructional design services for companies and organizations and agencies that still need some better training that's more inclusive and more, right on. We've been really rethinking the whole idea of corporate instructional media and e-learning because it needs to be really reworked from the ground up and the bottom down to have collaborative co-creation of content. And so we're working on that, as well as Physical World live streaming. Again, this is a great way to almost do systematic organizational change across a whole enterprise. So organizational developments in the past can only be at one place and not another. We can actually have a simulcast where multiple locations can be part of that same organizational development process with people on the ground facilitating their local groups. So we've been working on that. We were members of the Puget Sound Organizational Development Network a few years back, way before we had Zoom and really competent web conferencing now, but now we have it and we were leveraging that. And so the whole idea is to build global strategic partnerships. So we're doing this. Here's our campaign strategy. So the first part of the strategy, the first step over here is to get enabled. Now we're really grateful. I mean, there's so much tragedy that happened with COVID-19, but one of the benefits is it would force everybody to get online and start walking through a virtual door over Zoom. And so a lot of people are enabled to meet over Zoom. So that's why we're doing it that way. And we can conduct business e-meetings to do the plan and bring everybody together. We can be social, and we've got social media people. We've got people across generations, youth and stuff that can help us with this. And we're going to use YouTube in all kinds of different ways here. Some of it is content will be shot by students. and shot by generations of people that we train and empower. And then we're going to be doing a series of really fun virtual business casuals at local restaurants, happy hours, doing, remote streaming over Zoom and with really talented people. It's like a program that's going to be just really good. And restaurant owners will love us driving business their way so they can sell more drinks and more food and keep the doors open. And we're essentially planning a series of critical conversations for a 21st century world. There are many things on our mind that we need to talk about and work out, how to work out the issues that trouble us, but we haven't really worked out. We've just been holding our breath. But we can, courageously engage people in meaningful conversations across generations, across races, across communities to come together and get on the same page, even across political, across the aisle politically. And that's what our plan is. And look at all the things that can spin out of this too. And we're going to also do virtual boot camps, virtual training boot camps mid-year to train presenters, attendees, exhibitors how to best do this and get the best results by training and empower them. And again, we arrive at virtual conferences and trade shows and job fairs that people are going to write home about. So here's what spins off of this. This is what I was telling you about, these critical conversations. It's going to be really, really important. We're going to see people understand that maybe they need to do some more virtual focus groups. We will be developing a world-class consulting practice, not just us, but us as conveners of all these really, really talented people in all fields, all market sectors, to advise and to consult. And out of that, we'll also, so we have the world-class consultancy. We also have a primetime reality TV series that we envision that's actually interactive, like nothing you've seen before, where, we're talking about showcasing people who are taking climate action in all the sectors, individuals and leaders and, just community people, just ordinary citizens taking climate action. And out of that, we build new social ventures and we even rethink education. We're educators transforming education by what we do and how we are and how we engage with people in meaningful ways to transform education in a timely and meaningful way. So the missing piece of this is people power. This is what COP27 said. We have these non-active partners. These are people these are non-state, what they call them, non-state actors. These are non-government people, but these are people, right down the street. That's you and me. Across generations, across genders, across communities, across market sectors, across Washington State, across planet Earth. And so we're building a cornucopia of climate action opportunities here. So this is a good time to stop my share. And if you'd like to know more and contact me about this and how you can be involved, you can text or call me at 206-920-8067. You can email me at support@newworldcom.com. You can visit my website at newworldcom.com and browse our resources and go to our Contact Us page and request a complimentary Zoom call with key members of your leadership team. And I would love to learn more and listen to you and gain focus so we can all be on target and spot on with the people we serve. So we can do this together. And this is such a real honor and such a joy to work with you. Thank you so much.